January 2nd here in southern Ontario, Canada. So all on the news lately, well, not the mainstream media, but the real news, all on the news is how much money we spend on the CBC here in Canada. That's the primary propaganda division of the government. 1.2 billion, yes, billion with a B, last year. Was 1.6 billion the previous year. And this doesn't account for, I could get into, the figures are out there now, 40 million here and 50 million there in bonuses. Trudeau gave the CBC millions of dollars of bonus for their coverage of the Panda scammer and their coverage of what transpired in Ottawa with the supposed Freedom Convoy, as the CBC calls it. Now, this, of course, is taxpayer money. And this doesn't include these figures, money figures, don't include the CTV, Global News, the Toronto Star, the newspaper from Toronto. They are the worst. They're the ones who said everybody who doesn't want this should be dead. Whoa, what a rag that is. And, well, most of our newspapers in the country of Canada are taking government money. And you can certainly see that influence in their editorial comments and general, what they're talking about. Perhaps it's an irony, but as the real news talks about this 1.2 billion over the last year, less than 1% of Canadians watch the CBC during its prime time, which conventionally in Canada and still to some extent is the dinner hour. I mean, when I was a kid, we watched the news at the dinner hour and at 10 or 11 o'clock. They kind of changed that way back when. Of course, that 1% watching at the dinner hour now is kind of a sort of useless figure in the sense that, of course, it's available on this medium all the time. But, yeah, in the first place, primarily, the government, any democracy, should not be paying the news. It's supposed to be independent. So here in Canada, we have our biggest mainstream media, or often referred to as legacy media channels. You can't even say subsidized. They're paid for with our tax dollars to, again, simply be propaganda divisions of the government. I mean, this was clearly evident in Ottawa during the Freedom Convoy when, the independent media is going, oh, look at horses trampling over those people, tear gas, people wiping pepper spray out of their eyes, people being beaten and kicked and arrested and bank accounts frozen, blah, blah, blah. And there's the CTV aimed up the other way on the street at the counter protesters saying, I hear phantom horns honking. So, the humorous irony, because we must see the humor in it, is Trudeau is getting very little value for our tax dollar on his CBC propaganda as less and less people watch it. Again, less than 1% during their primetime hours at $1.2 billion, not including the millions in bonuses. Wow, yeah, it's not good value you're getting there, Justin, but, well, then again, nobody ever accused you of sitting at the head of the class, did they, son?